phone. Flip-flops parked in the sand, and the whole damn crowd all bare ass grown. Sunscreen on the bad ideas, coconut grin and a shameless plan. If the ocean wants an audience, baby, you picked the wrong podcast fan. Raise that cup, let it drip. Take your worries and let them slip. No dress code, just good time, and laugh too hard and keep on shining. This podcast is uncalled for. This podcast is uncalled for. Bare feet, bold truth. We came here for more. This podcast is uncalled for. This podcast is uncalled for. National Nude Day, and we're keeping score. Mango juice on the tablecloth. Wind got manners, but we don't care. Someone yells from a lawn chair, was that a bit? And we all say yeah. Talking wild in the open sun. Let confession taste like lime. If you're blushing by the second joke, you're exactly right on time. Raise that cup, let it drip. Take your worries and let them slip. No dress code, just good time, and laugh too hard and keep on shining. This podcast is uncalled for. This podcast is uncalled for. Bare feet, bold truth. We came here for more. This podcast is uncalled for. This podcast is uncalled for. National Nude Day, and we're keeping score. If the tide rolls in, let it. If the crowd gets loud, let it. We're sunburned saints on a stupid parade with a punchline ready-made. This podcast is uncalled for. This podcast is uncalled for. Bare feet, bold truth. We came here for more. This podcast is uncalled for. This podcast is uncalled for. National Nude Day, and we're keeping score. This podcast is uncalled for. This podcast is uncalled for. Pass the line, keep score. We came here for more.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the podcast. Very special episode today. Happy National Nude Day. Yes, you heard that correctly. If you are a somewhat regular listener to the podcast, you know I identify as a naturist. You might also be familiar with the term nudist. Either way, I do like to be naked from time to time, and that's what today's episode is about. We're going to be interviewing fellow naturists and get their take on this lifestyle that we share. So today is July 14. It is National Nude Day. This is an annual holiday, and that's why I chose this holiday. Also known as Au Natural Day. This unofficial holiday encourages body positivity, naturism, and shedding clothing restrictions. It is typically celebrated at designated clothing optional resorts, beaches, or by streaking and enjoying the outdoors. If you're looking to observe the day responsibly and legally, always research local zoning and decency laws first. You can find vetted clothing optional locations, clubs, and resorts through ANR, the American Association for Nude Recreation, or by looking up local naturist groups on the Naturist Society website, naturistsociety.com. We'll read about naturism from the INF. This is the International Naturist Federation. If you've never tried naturism before, a new experience awaits. The next time you go to the beach, just imagine stepping out of all your clothes and feeling the sun warm your whole body as the gentle sea breeze caresses your skin. Then swim in the warm sea a delightful, natural feeling that everyone should try. Bare skin dries much more readily than swimming costumes. No need for the towel dance when getting dressed, and no wet costume to carry or travel in. Nude recreation is a great way to unwind and get back to basics. And the beach is only one place where you can enjoy it. Clubs, associations, and events are available in many countries worldwide, including right here in the United States, meaning it's possible to participate in naturism all year round, not just while you're on holiday. Clearly not American English, but that's okay. That's okay. Naturism is practiced by millions of people around the world who understand that it is enjoyable, it is good for mental and physical health, boosts self-confidence, and counters body shame, isn't sexual. Side notes, that is a great way to get a nude beach or a naturist club shut down, is to engage in active sexual behavior. So that is totally not allowed. All right. And is legal in many countries. Naturism helps us feel more connected with nature and promotes respect for others, for ourselves, and for the environment. It was defined in 1974 as follows: Naturism is a way of life in harmony with nature, characterized by the practice of communal nudity, with the intention of encouraging self-respect, respect for others, and for the environment. Naturism, nudism, and nude recreation. The INF, FNI, which is basically the same thing, just in French, is an inclusive organization. It recently updated its statutes to make clear that whether you call it naturism, nudism, or non-sexual nude recreation, the INF FNI is for you. That's a bit of a mouthful, however. So we use the word naturism throughout this website, so we do not have to keep repeating it. Social nudity. Many first-timers worry about being seen naked by other people. The experience of many regular naturists is that this feeling wears off quickly, often within minutes, as people realize that nobody is looking at you. Bodies come in all shapes and sizes, and it's okay if you don't have the body of a film star, model, or super fit athlete. Naturists are friendly people, and the definition of naturism is centered on respect for ourselves and for others. Social nudity promotes self-confidence and counters body shame. A way of life. The 1974 definition of naturism describes it as a way of life. Quote, notes, they didn't use the word lifestyle. Lifestyle means swinging in these communities, so we tend to avoid that word lifestyle. So many naturists consider naturism is central to who they are and embrace social nudity as often as they can. But there's a huge spectrum ranging from dedicated naturists to people who visit naturist clubs and events at weekends or go on holiday to naturist resorts, and to others who only visit nude beaches when they are on holiday or enjoy occasional naked recreation. Many people dislike being categorized, and that's fine. Wherever you fit on the spectrum, there will be a warm welcome for you among the clubs and federations that make up our world naturist family. Whether you're an experienced naturist or skinny dipper, or if you're new to naturism, are you a member of a national Naturist Federation, whether through a club or individually. I'm not part of a national organization, nor do I really want to be right now. And the club I belong to with the Heartland Naturists, we're having that discussion right now. I say as someone who is on the board of said organization. If you enjoy the pleasure of naturism on beaches and clubs or anywhere else, remember that your right to enjoy going nude is often the result of years of tireless campaigning by your national federation. If you're not a member, please consider joining in order to support your federation. Remember, the more members the federation has, the stronger its voice in campaigning for naturist rights. And you can find your naturist federation at this link. If there is no national federation in your country, you can join the INFF&I. Yeah. So I don't believe ANR is part of this, but I will take a look anyway. And I know Canada is part of. Yeah, the United States is no longer a part of the INF, but that is an organization that you can ask questions of and such. And same with the Naturist Federation. Naturist Federation deals more with has historically dealt more with the nude beach side of things here in the U.S. Whereas ANR has been focused historically more on the resorts and campgrounds and all that. So it's entirely up to you which one you would choose. But the laws the rules they have clubs follow are pretty consistent. Everything, no sexual behavior, always sit on a towel, and stuff like that. So the rest of this episode, we will be talking with fellow naturists about their experiences, whether or not they have any advice for people. And I will end this part of the episode with a challenge to content creators who are themselves naturists, even though your content might not be naturist in nature. It is worth exploring at least once. Worth getting out there and exploring naturism, talking to your audience about it. And yeah, I'm doing that right now. This is not necessarily a naturist podcast, but I'm devoting this particular episode to the subject. So without further ado, let's talk with some naked people. All right. So this is the first part of our National Nude Day presentation. And I am joined by Dan Hawkins. Dan, good morning.
Good morning.
Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I have been a nudist, naturist since 1985. Well, I guess 84. I graduated high school in 84, went off to college and started modeling for art classes there, nude. And the following summer, I made my way out to my first nudist resort. It was a little place just, I don't know, about 50 miles east of Dallas called the Ponderosa Ranch. Mm-hmm. And just loved it. And went back there a few times, never became a full member. But And then I got married. My first wife didn't want anything to do with naturism, so I kind of backed off of it. Uh, we split up in, so we got married in '89. We split up in '98 and jumped right back into it. And I'm currently the president of the Southwest region of ANR, the American Association for Nude Recreation.
All right. Oh, awesome. Awesome. Yeah.
Yeah.
So a little bit about my history with nature is I joined, I'm a member of Heartland Naturists of Kansas City, which
Okay.
is which is not an Anner club. We are having that discussion right now, whether or not we should,
Mhm.
because I because there are both pros and cons to becoming an Anner club. Um, I'm not, and that was 20 years ago is when I first started going to Heartland.
Mhm.
Um, in terms of nude recreation around my area, um, we have Camp Gaia, which isn't technically nudist, but it's a spiritual retreat that is used predominantly by local pagans, and they do
Okay.
allow nudity on most of the property. So,
Okay.
so the interesting thing is there's a little they have a beach next to a lake. Well, that lake in in order to get to that beach, you have to walk across the levee, and the levee happens to be right next to the main entrance to the property, and you can't be fully nude. You can be top free, topless, but you have to, wrap around the waists, make sure your genitals are covered up, and then once you cross the levee, you can be nude. So, uh,
Okay.
which is interesting quirk, but it is what it is.
Yeah.
Uh, right. And I've recently started taking nude yoga classes. One of our Heartland members does a monthly uh, nude yoga class, and I've started going to that. And every time I'm thinking, oh, I am entirely sore and out of shape. Uh, uh, but
Yeah. I go to a festival. I've been 3 years. They can't they postponed it at the last minute this year, so I didn't get to go this year. But it's usually in April, and I've been the last 3 years. And it's a festival based on ecstatic dance and yoga and those type of practices.
mhm,
And before I went, I read the website, and they said they want their participants to be at their full expression. And I wrote them and said, I'm a professional nude model. I'm a nudist. Does that mean I can be nude if I consider that my full expression? And they took a little while and then wrote back and said yes, that they would allow that. I did, and so the first year I went, I stripped down the first night I got there and went to the ecstatic dance and had a wonderful time. It's just so freeing to dance naked, and I was the only naked person there.
mhm.
And the next morning I got up and thought, the instructions say be at your fullest expression at all times. So I'm thinking, okay, well, I'm not going to get dressed. I'm going to see how this goes. Went down to the area, the common area where the vendors were and everything. And, the only things that people said to me were positive. They thanked me for being free to be myself and making them feel more free to be themselves, even though they didn't take their clothes off. One young lady did. She was naked not too long after she saw me, and she later told me that seeing me gave her the confidence to do it. Yeah, it's and the last year I went, I actually led a workshop, a life drawing workshop. So I've been brought into the fold of that family of that built around that festival. And usually I'm the only naked person. I'm just known as, and, and it's like Cheers. I walk in and everybody knows my name. Oh, the naked guy. His name's Dan.
Yeah.
But they did have morning yoga workshops, and I did some morning yoga. I was naked. Nobody else was. Everybody else
Hmm.
had clothes on, and it was done outdoors under this little canopy tent, and it was a wonderful time.
Oh, that's
Um,
cool. That's
yeah.
cool. Yeah. Yeah. So nude modeling, that's something I've not had the opportunity to try. Yeah, it's we do have a couple of art schools in my area, but uh, I don't I don't know. I don't know if that's particular for me, but go on, tell me a little bit of how how that works. So,
Well, I was an 18-year-old college freshman in the University of Arkansas in Fayetteville. And
Razorbacks, all right.
yeah, I had seen a Three's Company episode where Jack Tripper's dating this, or trying to date this woman who's an art teacher. And she says that, her model didn't show up and she needed a model fast. And so Jack Tripper, played by John Ritter, volunteers and he gets to the class and he didn't realize it was nude modeling. But he goes through it with it anyway because he really likes this girl. And the punchline of the episode was his landlord, Mr. Furley, played by Don Knotts, walks into the room with his drawing pad under his arm and his face just all contorts when he sees Jack up there. It's a funny episode. But I had seen that while I was still in high school. So I went away at college. So I knew that they drew nude models in art classes. But I didn't, I thought that was like a New York or LA thing. I didn't think the University of Arkansas in Fayetteville would do it. But I was talking to one of a girl in the dining hall, and she said that they drew nude models in her drawing class, and I just immediately wanted to do it.
Mm-hmm.
And I probably thought about what it might be like as I watched that Three's Company episode back in high school. So I went in and filled out or talked to the person. They had a Tuesday evening open session where anybody could go and draw. Just pay, contribute money to pay the model. So that was the first gig I did, and it was on election night. I got the call late. Apparently, the model they had canceled, and I agreed to do it. Like I had less than an hour to get myself mentally ready to go do this. Mm-hmm. Took a long walk around the campus and went in, and only two people showed up to draw, and they were, two women. They were older than typical college students, so. But it was a great session. I mean, I didn't know what I was doing, but I enjoyed it. And the following semester in February, I started modeling for the regular 4-credit figure drawing course and did that several times. There were only 5 students in the class, so I guess it barely made that semester. But toward the end of the semester, the teacher asked me to model for her intermediate drawing class. So I said, sure, because I really liked the modeling. So I walk into that class, and there's like 20 something people in it, students. And it was, the room was packed. And I was like, oh my gosh, I don't know if I can do this. But I did it anyway, got undressed and started doing poses. And by the time the class was over, I didn't want to have to get dressed again. There was just an energy with more people in the room. And to this day, I still love the bigger classes with more people, more energy. And I just enjoy it. So, the next year, I had transferred to UT Arlington here in the Dallas-Fort Worth area and modeled for classes there, and Texas Wesleyan University. I think it was just called Texas Wesleyan College back then. This was still 85, 86. But I model for a lot of different schools now. I've been doing it, 41 years now. Like I said, there were a few years during my first marriage where I stopped modeling, but got back into it not long after we split up. And yeah, I love the job. I'll probably do it till I can't take a pose anymore.
Right. Yeah, that's awesome to hear. Yeah. So I do know locally we have the KC Art Institute which I believe Walt Disney is a graduate of. Now that I think about it. So in fact, Walt Disney is responsible for my alma mater, University of Missouri, Kansas City, where the Ruse in parts because of Disney. So
yeah.
So I
actually lived in Kansas City for a short time when I was in kindergarten. I went to I don't remember the name of the school, but we lived in, I think it was North Kansas City.
Okay, yeah, I work in North Kansas City, so yeah.
Yeah, I think it was on Parvin Drive. It was a bunch of condominiums. I went back to Kansas City in 2006 and found that place where we lived, because we moved out in 1972. So it was a long time ago. But I found the place, and it still looked kind of like I remembered it. But, being a little kid, my memories are, everything had shrunk or I'd have gotten bigger, one or the other.
Maybe a little, probably a little bit of both, because yeah, the
Yeah,
Northland continues to grow, I think, and like I say, I work up there, so
yeah,
I live in the Kansas suburbs. So
okay,
yeah, um, but yeah, that's really cool to hear the story of how you got into modeling and all that. So
yeah,
I've had a couple models on the podcast, and none of them, well, one of them I know has done nude modeling for artists and and stuff. I don't know if they're doing art classes and everything, but and you
yeah,
bring up another good point. College is for anyone. You don't have to be a certain age to go to college. As
yeah,
long as you're an adult wanting to improve your skills, college is for you. So,
yeah, yeah. I model for some of the community colleges around here too, which are kind of considered 2-year colleges to prep people for the university.
mhm.
I model for classes there. Like I say, I model for I don't know how many different institutions. There's a lot of them in Dallas Fort Worth. We're a
Oh
major
yeah,
metropolitan
major
area.
metropolitan area. Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah. All right.
yeah.
So. So, assuming people can't get into modeling but want to give naturism a try, do you have any advice for any of those people?
Um, to give it a try.
Hmm.
It's probably not what you're going to expect. It's not sexual. It's more about the freedom.
Hmm.
Uh, in fact, one of the workshops I was going to lead at Dragonfly Festival before it got canceled at the last minute was a naturism 101 course. I was going to talk about the history of Anner, the history of how nudist resorts started popping up in the late 1920s, early 1930s,
Hmm.
and the etiquette. Always have a towel to sit on if you're bare. Um, eye contact is very important. Don't, I mean, you look, but you don't stare.
Hmm.
You see other people, but it's not. I was going to have them do an exercise where we all stand up and close our eyes, and then they can undress to their comfort level if they're not already nude. Because I was going to make the workshop clothing optional, and then to just kind of talk them into feeling the breeze, feeling the sunshine, feeling the warmth of the sun on your skin, uh, because that's kind of what it's about. It's about being yourself and being free and open. Uh, and when you do that in a social setting, you see people for just themselves. You don't know. When you're naked, the person you're talking to, he could be a CEO of a major company, or he could be a fast food worker.
Hmm.
You don't know because that's so much of what we wear denotes our status in the world or our level of success or whatever. And when you strip all that away, you're just a person. Uh, so that's kind of the beauty of social nudism, I
Hmm.
think.
Yeah. I would add probably start at home, just being naked more at
Yeah,
home before you get into the social aspect of it. Sleeping naked good uh, is a good
yeah,
exercise because I mean, think about it. We're supposed to be spending a third of our time in bed resting, and that's a perfect
yeah.
time to experience it. No,
Mhm. Yeah,
yeah,
exactly. Yeah,
and uh, and of course, Heartland, we do monthly swims, so
okay,
we we rent a local indoor pool, and they let us use it for a couple of hours, and that is a perfect opportunity to experience naturism. Because yes, you're naked, but you're in a body of water, um, and that keeps you pretty much uh, concealed, if you will. Um,
yeah,
but at the same time, you're experiencing the feeling of the water against your skin, and it uh, once you've swum naked, you won't want to wear a swimsuit ever
yeah. I
again.
haven't worn a swimsuit in I don't know how many years.
Hmm.
If I'm in a situation where there's a pool, but I have to wear a swimsuit to get in the pool, then I just don't get in the pool.
Yeah.
Because it just you get out of the pool with a swimsuit on, and it's, your body dries pretty quickly,
Yeah.
naturally, but the swimsuit doesn't. It retains the water and it hangs off of you, and it's
Yeah.
just and it's get this cold, clammy feeling. It's not a good feeling. Swimming naked is much better.
Yeah. I'm seeing that. Yeah, I'm going to use my. I have two nieces and a nephew, all of them underage right now.
Mhm.
They swim fully clothed,
Mhm.
as in their bathing suits are cover their whole bodies. In my nephew's case, he wears a t-shirt to go
Yeah.
swimming, and I, I don't want to criticize my brother's parenting skills at all, but and knowing that they're not naturists themselves, but in the back of my mind, thinking, those kids are going to be very uncomfortable getting out of the water, and then
Yeah. I've noticed in the last few years it seems like the fear of the body, the fear
mhm,
of our human bodies has grown. I was talking to somebody the other day. I applied to do a show at a Fringe festival based on my art modeling, do
mhm,
kind of a monologue while I'm in a pose, nude. Uh, and I was telling him, that it's changed. I've just noticed the way that they run the classes. Like nowadays, when the model's posing, they'll have a sign on the door saying "Do not enter," and
mhm,
then most places they'll have the door locked. Um, and I was telling him about a teacher I modeled for in the early '90s at UNT, University of North Texas, and she didn't even bother to close the door most of the time. And people walking in the hall can see the class and see me naked and in a pose.
mhm,
Uh, that wouldn't happen today at all. And then there was another session I did at a bar. There was a bar in Fort Worth called Shipping and Receiving. And of course, it's been sold, it got sold during COVID, I think. So it's called something else. And I don't think it's as artist friendly as it was then, even. But,
mhm,
this was in 2016. There was a group that I modeled for regularly, and they modeled at different artist studios around Fort Worth.
mhm.
And we'd had a special session in the bar because the bartender that night was an artist. And it was on a Monday or Tuesday night. It was a very slow night for the bar anyway.
Mhm.
So I walked in and said, where are we going to do this? He said, just right there in front of the bar, because he wanted to draw too. So he wanted to be able to see the model. And he said, well, should I wear anything? And he told me it was totally up to you. Well, if it's up to me, I'm not wearing anything. So I did. I stripped down and did some poses. And that session was so fun. It was entertaining for me because when people did come into, because the bar was still open, people could walk in, come up to the bar and order something. And it was funny watching people's faces and their facial reactions when they walked in and saw a little art session going on.
Mhm.
I think there were only like 5 artists drawing that night. Uh, I don't see that happening now, just 10 years later, because there's this just fear of nude bodies.
Mhm.
They're building new fitness centers, health clubs, and they're making the locker rooms to where you have to change in a private little cubby hole rather than just out in the
Right.
open locker room, uh, because of this fear that just, I don't know if it's fear or just dislike, or I don't know, just
Mhm.
I don't know what it is. I'm trying to change it. I've written
Yeah.
5 novels that are kind of naturist based.
Mhm.
My pen name is D.H. Jonathan, if you're interested in going to look at them. I just acted in 2 movies that are nudist related.
Cool.
One is already out. It's called Naked is Created, the Pastor Jim Moore story.
Mhm.
It's very much a Christian faith based movie, because Pastor Jim Moore, the real Pastor Jim Moore, wouldn't have let us do it if it wasn't. Uh, and it's based on a true story, his true story, where somebody comes to him in the church and asks him to talk somebody else out of being a nudist. And he said, okay, well, that's probably not going to be a problem, but I'm going to study my Bible because
Mhm.
I want to give them scripture rather than just my opinion. And so he does. He does this exhaustive study of the Bible, and he not only finds nothing wrong with naturism, he determines that it's probably a preferred way of living. So he becomes a nudist himself.
Mhm.
And of course, he gets fired from a couple of churches. This is the story of the movie. He gets fired from a couple of churches and winds up starting his own ministry. But that movie is out now on Amazon Prime for rent or purchase, and you can get a DVD or Blu-ray of it too. And I play one of the bad guys. I play one of the editors who's publishing stories, calling him like Pastor Perv or whatnot. But, it was a fun movie to do. We shot it during the fires in LA. I drove out to Los Angeles to shoot the movie. So I had my car with me. I was glad I did. It's when we got evacuated from where we were staying. I had a car that I could drive.
Right.
It was strange driving at 4 a.m. with the fires everywhere. It did. It looked like Mordor or something.
Mm.
But we got the movie finished. We wound up going to Shangri-La in Arizona to shoot the resort scene since we couldn't shoot it at the place we were staying in Altadena, California. Mm-hmm. That movie's out. And then in the fall, late September, early October, we shot a horror movie called Naked Alien Massacre. And that one is still in post-production. And I played the owner of a nudist resort in that one. So I got to be naked for every scene I was in.
That's pretty cool.
I was wearing too many clothes in the first movie.
Yeah. I believe Tim Chesmar is involved with both those.
Tim Chesmar was the producer, and he directed Naked Alien Massacre. We had an Australian director named Mark Savage directed the Pastor movie, the first movie, the one that's already out.
Yeah. I know he's been big in nudist media the last few years and such.
The Naked as Created was on the list, on the faith and spirituality Amazon bestsellers list for a little while. In fact, I think it's still on there. It's fallen to number 16, but it was up as high as number 5, I saw. Mm-hmm. Like outselling some of the seasons of The Chosen, stuff like that, which is strange. It's a Christian faith-based movie, but it's a nudist movie, and it's got full frontal nudity in it. Probably the only Christian faith-based movie with full frontal nudity in it. So it's an unusual movie.
Yeah. Genesis 2:25. Adam and Eve were naked and unashamed.
Yeah. Well, the production company, Jim Moore's production company, is Genesis 2:25 Productions.
Cool.
Yeah.
That is awesome. That leads into another interesting discussion points. Naturism and I won't say religion overall, not singling out Christianity, but we are in the United States, and most people in the U.S. are Christians. Mm-hmm. We could point to Genesis 2:29 as an example of the Bible supporting naturism. Some will take chapter 3 of Genesis, and this is why we can't be naked, because Adam and Eve sinned, and it wasn't so much that they committed the sin; it was their reaction to committing the sin.
Their reaction was to hide.
Yeah.
And to hide part of their bodies.
Mm-hmm.
It was they who did it. God just helped them out and said, okay, those fig leaves aren't going to work. If you really want to cover yourself, here's some animal skins.
Yeah.
So it wasn't God clothing them. It was just God helping them clothe themselves.
Right.
If you look at Isaiah chapter 20, God tells Isaiah to go naked and barefoot for 3 years, as he's prophesying, which apparently wasn't that uncommon for prophets to prophesy nude, because I think it's in one of the Samuel's, King Saul, the first king of Israel, was naked and raving on the ground or something, and everybody thought he had become a prophet, because apparently prophets naked, and they're naked and prophesying. It was just a common thing. In fact, in biblical times, a set of clothing was like a car. They were not easy to make and create.
Right.
And if you did any hard manual labor, like gardening or fishing or whatever, you took it off because you didn't want to ruin your only set of clothes. Mm-hmm. So nudity was really common in biblical times. It's only with the advent of indoor plumbing that we're not naked outside very often anymore.
Right. And again, the certain Christian misinterpretations of these very Bible verses that uh, we're talking about too, and you don't have to look strictly at Christianity for examples of uh, nudity being good uh, in a religious setting. Of course, I think of neo-paganism is a good example when they do their rituals skyclad. I talked
Mhm.
about Camp Gaia, being a pagan uh, place and
Yeah,
everything. Uh, several several traditions in India come to mind as well. Um,
yeah,
most notably um, I'm going to butcher this, the Naga Sadhus, I believe, is what they call themselves in Hinduism, and the Digambaras in Jainism.
yeah,
Uh, yeah, the
yeah,
Digambaras are noble because those are, yeah, the monks, and it is just the monks. Unfortunately, no nuns do this. They commit to living naked, and they pluck every hair off of their bodies, and so they're
yeah,
just naked and bald and carrying around a broom, sweeping in front of them, make sure they don't kill anything accidentally, and so yeah, so there are traditions out there that say this is okay. So,
yeah. Well, I grew up Christian, and I don't
mhm.
know that much about other religions in the world. I wish I did because I might have been more richer. I don't know if you know, I was a contestant on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire in 2001,
Oh, that's cool. Yeah.
and host Regis Philbin saw on my card that I was a nude model. So that's all he wanted to talk about. So if you watch my millionaire appearance, and it's on YouTube in like three different videos of YouTube, he talks a lot about my nude modeling there a lot. But the question that I missed was on the origins of Buddhism, like where it
Hmm.
was. And I said China when I wish I'd said India. Uh, so I wish I knew more about world religions
Yeah.
because I'd be a lot richer if I did.
Yeah. Yeah. Buddhism is a tough one because it did start in India. Yes. Yeah. But a lot of Chinese practice it as well. A lot of other Asian countries, East Asian countries practice it in different forms. The Theravada, Mahayana,
Mm.
Tibetan, Zen. Uh, and the cool thing about Buddhism, from my understanding, is you can be a Christian and practice Buddhism,
Mm.
I think. Yeah. So,
Yeah, there's a lot of Buddhist, I don't know, imagery, symbolism in the festival that I go to, the Dragonfly Festival.
yeah, cool.
And I tell them, I said, I'm kind of embarrassed to tell y'all what the question I missed on Millionaire was.
But yeah, I was raised Christian. In my case, Catholic. I was I
Mm.
was raised, and then I spent time in the Mormon church. And this is before I became a naturist.
Yeah.
Um, in Mormonism, in particular, since we're talking about the nudity uh, taboo, in Mormonism, they have the temples, right, and go through the
Mm.
temple rituals. There's one temple ritual called the endowment, which is broken up into two parts. The first part is a washing and anointing part. I'm just going through what I read. Did not experience this myself, but it's a
Yeah.
washing and anointing, after which they give you a special set of underwear with Masonic markings all over it. And they say you have to wear this underwear for the rest of your life. So, yeah.
Uh-oh.
And then they take you through the ritual part of the endowments. It's a group ritual. It's a dramatization of Adam and Eve,
Mm.
but the Mormon interpretation of it, and through which everyone's taking different vows and given Masonic handshakes and
Yeah.
all that, because Joseph Smith ripped off Freemasonry. So, and
Yeah.
they're all wearing this special underwear, and it's a pretty. And if you ever go to a LDS service and you can see underneath, it has a very distinct neckline to it that you can see through shirts and stuff.
Yeah.
So,
I have a problem then. On modeling days, I stopped wearing underwear, because it takes a while for the red marks, the elastic band marks
hmm.
to go away.
Right.
I don't want that to distract people. So I go commando when I would
Hmm.
go, when I know I was going to go model for a class or something. And that just led to just going commando all the time. So I'd be in trouble. I wouldn't want to wear the underwear anyway.
Right, right. And
But
it's a very stylized underwear that you can only buy through certain uh, manufacturers
yeah,
and stuff. And it's just insane. I had this discussion. I had Carrie Cott on the podcast about a year
okay.
ago, and I brought that up to her, and she's like, "Well, I'm like underwear, no funderwear," and it's just insane to think that there is a religious group that forces you to wear certain
Yeah.
type of underwear. So,
Yeah. Well, going back to the Christianity and nudism, when you think about it, Jesus was naked on the cross.
mhm,
Is it that was the Roman tradition? That they made him naked when they were crucified as part of the humiliation thing or whatever. So Jesus was naked when he died for our sins. When he rose from the grave, so Bible says he left the grave clothes in there, and one of the Marys mistook him for the gardener. Well, gardening
mhm,
was done nude, like I just said, because you don't want to mess up your set of clothes. So he was naked when he died. He was naked when he came up, and for the first at least 400 years of the church, baptisms were done in the nude.
mhm.
So
I think the Eastern Orthodox still do nude baptism since you
yeah,
bring that up. So,
that's
yeah,
interesting to think about that.
yeah, yeah. So, so yeah, that's a lot of information to get us started, and I've got plenty more to
Yeah.
plenty more to go. So, yeah, I think we'll go and leave it at that. So, thank you, Dan, for coming on.
Thanks for having me.
All right, so ready for the next part of our National Nude Day festivities. So, I got another wonderful guest with me today. Go ahead and introduce yourself, please.
Hello, my name is Ashley Papavero. I am a naturist in Arizona, um, and also an admin for the group No Tan Lines on Facebook.
hmm And No Tan Lines is one of the groups I approached for this project, and uh, thank you so much for doing this. So,
It is my pleasure. Thank you.
yeah. So, how'd you get started in the naturist lifestyle? So,
Um, Back in 2018, I was living and working at Bullfrog Marina at Lake Powell in Utah.
mhm,
And I was kind of seeing a park ranger police officer at the time, who informed me that there were no laws against nudity at the lake or any national federal uh, land, basically. And
mhm,
so that kind of ruined me. I didn't realize what it would do at the time, but a few weeks after I learned that information, I went out to a 4th of July party and got invited to a boat to go watch fireworks, and then told them, perfect, I wasn't planning to be on the lake, but if we are going on the boat, do you mind if I skinny dip if we're going to do that?
mhm,
And so when the time came after the fireworks were over, we went to a little cave, or not a cave, we went to a canyon across the way, and I stripped off my clothes and they were like, oh shit, you were serious. And I'm like, yeah, I was very serious. And
mhm,
so out of the 11 people on the boat, happy to report that 8 of them ended up getting naked with me. So there was only 3 people left on the boat that were not nude in this excursion that kind of just happened about.
mhm. Yeah, that that's pretty cool. Yeah, yeah. I just started with my local club. That was 20 years ago. I was in my late 20s. I'm now in my late 40s and still active with the club. I'm actually a board member with the club, the Heartland Naturist Club
Oh, that's
in Kansas
awesome.
City. Yeah.
Cool. I haven't heard of them, but I'll definitely look into them. And if I wander that way, I'll let you know.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So our main activity is we do a monthly swim, um, except for July and December. July, we got other activities going on, and then December, that's Christmas. Everyone's busy and everything. But yeah, we do have a few nudist places within driving distance of here. Uh, and the past few months, I've done a monthly nude yoga class,
Oh,
which
how
is
fun.
which is pretty which is pretty cool. And that's so that's my neck.
Are
Well,
you
go.
are you the yoga teacher or do
No,
you just host it? Okay.
no, I just yeah, I wish I was a yoga teacher. um, and funny, yeah, I'll go and follow suit as well. So if you don't mind.
You know, it's 102 degrees outside. I'm standing in the shade, but it's still just damn hot. So I'm just
Yeah.
gonna, I have neighbors. I'm in my backyard right now. It's like partially covered. My roommate was playing music inside, so I didn't want to
All right.
have him disturb or interrupt or whatever. So I came outside and it is darn hot out here.
Good. Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty warm here, but not 100 degrees warm. It's like 80s today. Um,
I live in the Arizona desert, so it's quite warm where I'm at.
yeah, yeah, it's
Summer
certainly
has officially begun.
certainly compared to the Midwest where I am and all that. So,
I'm
but
sure.
yeah, back to the nude yoga. Yeah, it's one of our club regulars hosts a monthly nude yoga class, and yeah, I'll check it out. And
No
it
fun.
was the first time I ever tried yoga, to be completely honest with you.
I still haven't done it yet, so you're a step ahead of me.
Hmm. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
How
yeah.
how did you enjoy the class?
Well, I'm a bit out of shape, um, but yeah, I definitely feel it every time I uh, take the class and everything. Can't do
Work.
the very advanced stretches and everything, but it's over when you do that corpse pose. You just lie flat on your back, your eyes closed, and she starts playing the those meditation bells and
She does the
everything. Yeah.
sound bowls.
Hmm.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah.
I have
Yeah.
done the sound bath, but never the whole yoga part with it. But that sounds so fun. I would
Hmm.
love to join something like that sometime.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure there are classes in Arizona. And, uh,
I visit a place called Shangri-La Ranch, which certainly offers that on occasion, depending on if there's somebody that happens to be a yoga instructor that's there for the weekend or something that wants to host a class for free.
mhm.
But yeah, there's definitely some opportunities that I just haven't taken advantage of yet. So one of these days I will get to naked yoga.
Yeah. Excellent. And I guess there are companies that do naked yoga classes online and on that. So
Yeah,
that could
there's
be a good.
definitely some Zoom meetings for sure I've heard of.
Hmm. Yeah. Um, so my favorite activity to do naked, aside from yoga, swimming, sleeping is a big one.
I don't blame you there.
Yeah. Um, and yeah, there are a lot of activities out there that can be done naked that um, probably should. I probably wouldn't try driving naked, not in my part of the country at least. So, but
Depends on where you are,
yeah, Kansas
if
City
you can
area.
get away. You know, the cool thing about being a man is a shirtless man isn't any sort of danger. So as far
Hmm.
as someone can see in your vehicle,
Right,
but if a woman is topless, you might be able to see more than you expected depending on how low the windows are.
right.
Um, but yeah, there's definitely some different things that can come with, you
Mhm.
know, being a guy or a girl nude
Right,
driving. I've
right.
done it, but like in the forest
Okay, yeah,
where I know I'm not going to run into anybody.
right, right. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, So yeah, around the Kansas City area, I probably once tried driving naked, but and certainly not in Arkansas.
Yeah,
For my audience, nudism is illegal in Arkansas. So
that's a bummer. I will avoid Arkansas at all costs. Thank you
yeah,
for that heads up.
yeah. But that's it. I know there are a few naturist places around Kansas, Missouri, and Oklahoma that I've heard good things about. So
Certainly. One of my favorite things to do nude is boating at
hmm
Lake Powell. I don't own a boat, but whenever I get invited to go boating, I will definitely be there. One of those little, what is the word? One of the requirements on, as I get invited, I'm like, cool, can I be nude? Will that offend anybody? Will everyone be like, does that bother anybody? And then,
hmm
kind of get the consensus. And if it's a no, will be uncomfortable, then I just plain don't go.
Right.
Because I will be uncomfortable if I have to wear clothes at this point, unfortunately.
hmm
But one of the great things about Lake Powell, where I personally live, or Glen Canyon National Recreation Area, which is basically my backyard,
hmm
is that on all national federal land, there are no laws against public nudity unless there are specific laws against public nudity. Like, from my understanding, the Canaveral National Seashore, for example, is one that specifically says no nudity. But unless there is a specific law against nudity, there are no laws against nudity on our national public federal land, which
Cool.
I appreciate and I live in the middle of. So
Yeah,
I
yeah,
take advantage of that as much as possible.
that's awesome. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Good deal. And I know you do a lot of nude photography, of nude self photography and everything. A lot of which I think is very tasteful. And
Thank you.
hmm
That is my aim. Um, I definitely try to represent females in social nudity or just naturist women in general, in the most healthy and respectful way that I know how to. So I have often been found photographing myself naked in nature among beautiful, beautiful Mother Nature, gorgeous backgrounds. I just try to be a little tiny piece in the corner of, I'm just enhancing the scene rather than being kind of the main focus of the
hmm
photo. So
Yeah.
it's certainly something that I strive for and something that I take pride in, kind of representing something that's kind of underrepresented
Uh,
in nudism. So
yeah, you bring up a good point here. I can hear myself a little bit there. But that women are very, very underrepresented in the naturist nudist scene. And I have theories about that. Um,
let's talk about them.
I think the big one is the perception of guys like me, single guys coming to the clubs, expecting to see beautiful women there and trying to hit on them. And all right, I get it from that perspective and everything,
That's their
but if you're coming to a nudist camp, there's sexual activity will get you banned. As simple as that, you know.
I prefer to stay at ANR resorts, the
hmm
AANR affiliated resorts where sexual activity is strictly prohibited, in the public. Do whatever you want in your room, but don't
hmm
keep it by the pool. There's families here, there's children here. Um, there are definitely different types of resorts. So I prefer to stay at the ANR resorts where, some sort of behavior is specifically not allowed, um, for those reasons. And as an admin of a group of naked people, we have somewhere between 7 and 8,000 people now, members from all across the world. And we have a quite low membership rate. I'd say we're stuck about 23% females versus about 77% men. And I find that a lot of the times when a woman shares herself online, even if it's something like I do, just a little tiny piece of the picture, we're you're enhancing the beauty. The men who perceive it, or the men who are the audience, sometimes like to cross the line and, for some reason think it's appropriate to comment on the way you look, or comment on, um, wishing they were there with you, which is so weird. Don't do that. That's so weird. Or just choose to view your picture and then send you a friend request because don't you want to be friends with all of the random men who see you naked on the internet? Like that's a hard pass. That's a no. That's weird. Start a conversation with somebody,
Hmm.
tell them that you like the landscape. Like there's so many other ways to start a conversation with somebody. And through personal experience and through being an admin of this group, No Tan Lines, we see plenty of people from all sides of the spectrum. And we do in that group specifically request that people report other people crossing the line, making them uncomfortable, because what we're trying to create is a safe space for everyone to share whatever they want to, as long as it's within the Facebook censorship standards.
Hmm.
And the forget the community standards that they set. Um, but yeah, we want people to feel comfortable. And when a woman decides to share herself and then 50 strange men comment, or not comment, comments are fine as long as they're not crossing a line.
Hmm.
But when people just decide to reach out to you or send a private message like, hi, I'm a naked person too, like, cool, I don't care. That's why we're in the same group. Like, don't make it weird. I don't
Hmm.
know. People,
Yeah.
the things that people choose to do when women share themselves on the internet, definitely makes a lot of people step back and rethink their thoughts and second guess sharing. And again, that's why in No Tan Line specifically, we strive to make it a comfortable space for everyone that wants to share. And anyone that does cross a line, we are constantly scanning comments, scanning posts, scanning whatever we can to weed out the people that do not belong and the people that are not true naturists, not true nudists, not there for the right sort of motivation, not there for the right reasons.
Hmm.
And we try to eliminate them as soon as possible because, again, we want to be a safe space where all of our members feel comfortable and feel safe to share what they want to share without being hunted by the thirst people. I don't know.
Hmm.
Like, I don't
Right.
even know how to say it.
Right.
Yeah, some
But
people cross the line immediately. Like, say hello, ask how someone's doing. Don't just say, hi, I'm naked. I like the way you look. Like, it's weird, guys. It's fucking
mhm.
weird. Oh, it's weird.
You can cuss on this podcast, so that's
Okay,
fine. Um,
my apologies.
um, but yeah, Heartland in particular, it does skew mostly male as well. We do have a background check process that anyone who wants to come to one of our events has to go through a background check, see
That's
that
great.
see that you're not committing crimes.
On a predator list, or yeah,
Yeah, excuse me.
someone that shouldn't be there, someone with wrong
Exactly,
intentions.
exactly, exactly. Everyone's there for the right intentions, and we also have rules in place that if someone makes you feel uncomfortable, you tell the board member immediately, and we'll take care of it. So, and yeah, we are not an anar club, but as a Harlan Naturist board, we are having that discussion right now. Should we be anar or should we reaffiliate with the Nature Society, uh, or things like that? But
Would Anna and the Naturist Society be along the same lines? I would feel like naturism is non-sexual, which is kind of how
mhm,
Anna is, or along the
yeah,
same lines, or So when I think of not naturist or Anna, I think of lifestyle, which is
hmm
like the whole nother level. So I don't know if there's something between those two extremes. Um, but yeah, if you wanted to gain more membership or have more people interested, I would say proving yourself as a non-sexual
hmm
safe space would be a good way to go about doing that, and
yeah,
recruiting other people or finding other people that might be interested in a safe place to hang out naked. It's a weird thing. It's a weird thing to say to people.
Yep. Yeah, just out in public, say, "Hey, so and so, you want to get naked?" No, no, can't
Yeah.
can't work that. It
I,
doesn't work that way, unfortunately.
I am a proud naturist, and everyone knows
Hmm.
me, knows that I am a naturist. It's within like the first three things that you learn about me. It's usually like my name, that I'm a naked person, and I don't know what the maybe I like to sing karaoke.
Hmm.
I work at this restaurant. I don't know. There's like whatever the third thing is,
Right.
but it's my name, that I'm naked, and then
Something
whatever
else.
that third thing might be. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's good to put it out there and let people know who you are from the start, because there's a good chance if we go do something, I'm gonna end up taking off my clothes at some point. So we should just clarify if that's gonna make you uncomfortable or not from the beginning. So
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, we need. Yeah, I think the U.S. Especially would be a much better place if there were more naked spaces that we can engage in non-sexual nudity and um, activities that uh, yeah, anyone's welcome and all that. So,
I, I wish the same. I feel out of the world and out of the things that I know just from joining the group that I'm in, and knowing what I've learned, for some reason the United States has sexualized nudity, and
hmm.
all of the movies and all of the shows and all of the things sexualize that, when it used to be art in Roman,
Hmm.
in Roman times, and it used to be, it's not supposed to be sexual. It's everyone has nipples.
Yep.
Who cares? Like, it's not, they actually have a function on women. Like,
Hmm.
it's not supposed to be sexualized, but
Right.
it has been. And the rest of the world looks at social nudity, or just nudity in general, as a healthy function of life. And they embrace it. And, going to the topless beach or the nudist beach, or raising your children as naked kids, is normal. And kids by nature want to be naked. Like, no one
Hmm.
wants to put on clothes. No one wants to wear a diaper. No one wants to wear underwear if they can not.
Right.
So we're trained to wear clothes, and we're trained that nudity is taboo or wrong in some way, but it's really the most natural way that we can possibly be as humans. So we're born that way.
Yeah, absolutely. We're all
How's that?
born naked, so yeah, it's our natural state of
Embrace
being,
it.
and we need more places that we can, yeah, be naked.
Exactly.
Yeah. So,
I
so,
support it
uh,
wholeheartedly.
so, what advice would you give a woman who is interested? Well, specific to women, but it could apply to men too. But what advice would you give to someone who's interested in this way of life?
I think to anyone, men or women, not the biggest thing is you are restricting yourself. It's more likely how you think people will see you, how you think people will perceive you, what you think people are going to think about you. That shouldn't matter. Social nudity or naturism is about enjoying being yourself. And once you're comfortable in your own skin, like, there's nothing that can stop you. So if you have the thought, if you have the idea that you might want to try it sometime, just go do it. Like, if you're around actual nudists, no one is gonna mind if you have an extra roll or two. Like,
Hmm.
no one is worried about your body hair. Nudity and naturism is about being comfortable in your own skin, feeling the breeze in your hair, the wind on your skin. Like, it's it's just about enjoying being natural and being free. So if you're thinking about it, just go do it. If you're uncomfortable, go make a little spot in your backyard. Find some place where no one can see you. Just like get outside and feel the sun on your skin. If you've never done it, don't do it for too long, because
Hmm.
you will sunburn for sure. There are parts that are more sensitive because you've probably worn a bathing suit your whole life. Um, But yeah, just feeling the sun on your skin and that breeze in your hair, all of your body hair, is
Hmm.
amazing. um, don't let people's thoughts about you or people's judgments about you or the way you think people are going to think about you stop you from living your best life. Like, honestly, and I feel like once you actually can do it, there's nothing, like, you become unstoppable. There's nothing that anyone can say that will ever bother you because you know in your soul, like, who you are. Like, I don't care how what you're thinking about me, what you see, what you're judging me for. Like, I know who I am and I love me 1000%. And that's like it's like gaining a self-confidence that you never knew was possible. Like, I hope that you already love yourself. I hope that you already know that you have value. But once you like see yourself with nothing to like make yourself up, no dressing up, no makeup, no, like, once you can just be yourself
Hmm.
and still love yourself, like, there's nothing else matters. Like, whatever anyone thinks, anyone says, I don't give a shit if you're looking at me, if you have some negative thoughts about me, like, I love me and that's what matters. And I feel like becoming a naked person and just like wholeheartedly loving yourself is what has gotten me to that level. And I hope that other people, I the women that I have spoken to that are in naturism agree. um and there is nothing else that you can do. Like, it doesn't matter. Say what you want to say. I know who I am and I love myself. I
Hmm.
love me.
All right. All right. And I think that's a great way to end this portion of our special. So I want to thank you, Ashley, for coming on.
It is my pleasure. Thank you very much for having me, Michael.
Mhm. Okay, so this is from TrueNakedYoga.com. It is a website where you can download naked yoga classes. They have a blog, and in keeping with the spirit of the holiday, this is 5 ways to celebrate National Nude Day. So July 14 is National Nude Day. And while it may seem like one of those silly, meaningless holidays that often circulate the internets, it's actually a special day for people who partake in the practice of naturism. The holiday is a celebration of the joy and freedom that many people experience from being nude. Naturism is defined as a lifestyle of practicing non-sexual social nudity in private and in public, and is a movement that promotes body positivity and self-love. One of the main tenets of naturism is the desexualization of nudity and a recognition of nudity as our most natural, normal state. National Nude Day is rumored to have vague origins in New Zealand in the 1970s, but amongst modern naturists, it's a day that aims to spread the knowledge and positivity about the movement. Spending more time nude can lead to greater confidence, better self-image, and increased body positivity. It allows you to become more acquainted, comfortable, and accepting of your body exactly as it is. Unfortunately, nudity remains taboo in most societies, which leads to a great deal of shame surrounding our own bodies. But as many naked yoga practitioners can attest to, spending more time nude can lead to greater confidence, better self-image, and increased body positivity. It allows you to become more acquainted, comfortable, and accepting of your body exactly as it is. You don't have to be a full-blown naturist to enjoy National Nude Day. Although myself and everyone who's appeared on the episode so far is a full-blown naturist. So, and you certainly don't have to be naked around strangers if you're not comfortable with that. Instead, start by trying a few simple, non-threatening ways to becoming more familiar with your naked body before you move on to any social nude activities. So here are great ways to celebrate National Nude Day and become more relaxed with nudity. Number one, this being a naked yoga site, of course, they're going to suggest naked yoga. Naked yoga is an exceptionally liberating practice that combines all the benefits of yoga with all the benefits of naturism. Because yoga encourages you to focus on your breath and the movements, it helps to release feelings of shame, awkwardness, and discomforts with nudity by encouraging you to focus on the present moment. Number two, similar to naked yoga, is naked meditation. Meditation is another way to cultivate mindfulness, and doing it while nude allows you to fully face any feelings of shame or anxiety you might be feeling head on. It's important to have a safe space to process these feelings on your journey to releasing them. Number three, cooking naked. Whipping up your favorite meal while in the nude is a lot of fun, and because cooking is such an innocent and low-key activity, it makes being naked feel a lot less intimidating. Just be careful that if you're working with hot liquids and oils, and wear only an apron if needed. Number four is dancing naked. Dancing naked is so fun and freeing, and while it might feel quite silly, laughing at yourself helps to take the edge off of the nudity. Try blasting your favorite song and getting down in your birthday suits before getting dressed in the morning for a great way to start the day. And number five is sunbathing naked. If you're lucky enough to have access to a private area outdoors, try soaking up some rays in your birthday suit for a healthy dose of vitamin D. The sun will feel so amazing that you'll almost forget you're naked. Just make sure to wear sunscreen. And namaste. So, they also have another blog entry, so 10 things to do naked at home. We can skip 1's naked yoga, 2 meditate naked, 3 cook naked. They've already been mentioned. So 4 is swim naked. Swimming naked, also known as skinny dipping, is a fun pastime that goes back centuries, and for good reason. Swimming naked feels great. It can be a great way to soothe muscles and increase your body-mind connection after a stressful day. Number 5 on this list, paint yourself naked. We're all looking for fun, creative outlets at home. This was written during pandemic times. So why not paint a nude self-portrait? It can be an awesome way to increase self-love and body positivity. No painting skills? That's okay. Try taking some artsy nude photographs with a digital camera. Number 6 is read naked. Reading is a great way to kill time at home while also learning or being entertained, and reading naked can take that to the next level, try cuddling up with a cozy blanket and a good book in the nude to freshen up your self-care routine. Number 7 is sleep naked. Believe it or not, sleeping naked is good for you. It can help you regulate your body temperature, fall asleep faster, and feel less stressed overall. If you're not used to sleeping naked, try taking naked naps. Number 8 is sunbathe. Number 9 is clean naked. Cleaning can be a drag, but you can make it more exciting by cleaning naked. And it's a great way to motivate your partner, if you have one, to help you out with the chores. And number 10 is dancing. So that's on there as well. All right. So on to the next thing. All right. So if you could please introduce yourself.
My name is Kip Gineau, and I wrote the book, The Art of Networking Naked, a bold guide for first-timers.
All right. Seems oddly appropriate for our discussion today because we are talking about getting naked.
There you go. Yep.
Yeah. So how did you start getting naked?
Well, it was a funny thing. See, I've been a networker for many years, and one day I was thinking about how I would change networking, make it different, and I wanted to make up some new rules. So one of these things I started writing out, and I realized that if I went and changed it from a dynamic of a business environment to a nudist environment, it would change the whole dynamic of the conversation. So I started writing the book and everything else, and I realized I needed some research. So I went to a local nudist resort, maybe about 45 minutes from me for the first time. And I got there on a Friday, and of course, there was nobody there but one person. So I was kind of dismayed because I wanted to talk to people and interview them. So I said, well, I see one person. I'm just going to go over and talk to them real quick and get some information. I ended up spending an hour and a half with them. They told me to come back on a Saturday, which I interviewed 25 people out of about 100. Felt very relaxed, very comfortable. I didn't feel like anybody was judging me or anything else. And the people were really warm and friendly when I told them I was writing a book. So that's how I got into it. And since then, I've been on Instagram. I've been creating videos. I've been talking to a lot of people in the industry. And it's dynamics that you don't expect. And I think that's what's got me involved. That's why I wrote the book.
Awesome. So what are some of the insights you picked up from that first
The
time?
visit?
Yeah.
Well, the first thing I picked up is that I was worried about how people would perceive me. I'm 81 years old. You know, your body isn't in the best shape, and you figure you're going to be going against a bunch of younger people. What I found was the average age was like 50 plus. So that was a little bit of reassurance. The second thing is when I talked to them, they said to me, we don't care what you look like. We don't care about anything. As long as you're nice and you're speaking with an open heart, that's all we care about. We don't like people to come in and lie or anything else. I said, well, I can do all of that. And one of the things that in the book it covers is very unique is that I talk about dropping your armor. Your armor is your clothing, your glasses, your phone, your fancy watch, all that stuff. And when you meet someone, and especially in a nudist environment, you're talking one-on-one. You're not hiding behind anything. And I think that's the essence of what the book is about is stop hiding, start being present, believe that you're okay, and that you're allowed to be within that realm of people that you don't think you belong.
All right. So I assume we've gone back for further visits as well.
Yes, as a matter of fact, I've got an event. I've just finished. My book is coming out in soft cover. It's supposed to be here in 2 weeks. I've been invited to the largest nudist resort in Florida, in Kissimmee, and they
Cypress
want me
Cove.
Yes, and they want me to do an author book signing for 4 hours during their open house. So I'm going to be down there on the 11th, I think it is, of July, signing books for 4 hours and talking to people about what I've learned in this type of industry, what people feel, how they think about you, what's good and bad that I've learned, and just challenge people a little bit to think differently about nudism itself, which I'm thinking differently.
Mhm. Sure. Sure. I assume we're going to leave a copy of your book for, because one thing I do know about Cypress Cove, they have one of a few nudist libraries
Yep.
in the
Mhm.
United States. I assume
Right.
you leave a copy of your book for them.
Well, that's the goal, and I'm dealing right now with the head marketing person. I've also ended up joining the AANR, and I got friendly with the president, Linda Webb,
Hmm.
and I've been championing her along to get reelected. And we haven't had a chance to get the webinar yet. Her and I can meet face to face, so to speak. But we've been in contact. She's wished me good luck on my signing and everything else. So I'm reaching out to the right people, and I'm making inroads in where they're listening to me. I've sent them all copies of my book. They love the book. So, I'm just meeting people along the way that I never thought I'd meet before.
Really cool. Really cool.
Yeah.
So, so I myself have never been an Anner member, mostly
Okay.
because I can't afford it.
Uh,
Um,
it was
as
only
a,
$65 for the year.
that's a lot for someone with not as good an income as I have, but
Okay. I see.
um, and that is a discussion we are having in my club uh,
Hmm.
right now because the club is not an Anner club, but certain people want to push it towards that, and I'm frankly against the idea because that would force all of our members to join
Yep.
Anner if they aren't already,
Right.
and once again, it uh, we already charge $40 for a year long membership,
Okay.
and there are people much like myself who are in that situation. They can't
Sure.
necessarily afford the
Yep.
Anner membership. So we're going to turn these people away just to appease
Right. Right.
one or
Yeah.
two people just
Yep.
pushing this.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah. It
ridiculous.
makes no sense. And you have to weigh the pluses and the minuses.
Hmm.
The other thing that's been going on, this is kind of weird. I met a guy online and through my Instagram. He responded to one of my videos, and he's out of South Australia.
Hmm.
And he runs a tour group that has nude tours. And we started talking. I sent him a copy of my book, and he read it. He says, "Look, I have high expectations for this book before I read it, so you better live up to it." He writes me back. He says, "I got to chapter 2, and I'm already exceeded those expectations. I can't wait to finish the book." So then he sends me a book that I didn't know about. He's just as a gift about Black naturism in Africa and Australia.
Hmm.
So he wants to collaborate on that a little bit because he does all kinds of tours. We're talking about Gen Z, how to get Gen Z involved more, because Gen Z thinks it's more about nudity. And it's really not. It's about your personality and how you feel about yourself is what it's about.
Hmm.
So I've been doing some research on that and trying to work with him as well and come up with maybe a joint thing or whatever. I'm not sure at this point, but I've been doing the research anyway.
Yeah, absolutely. That sounds great. So,
Yeah.
and yeah, that's another demographic that's very underrepresented in the
Yes.
naturist community is the Black African American
Yep.
or
Uh-huh.
African wherever you happen to be in the world.
Exactly, exactly. And I'm doing some research too to give them some percentages of the number of people, the ages, because a lot of the Gen Zers, their thing is they think it's just for old people, that they won't fit in. And the reality is that tide is shifting and it's becoming more younger people than ever before. I'll give you a great example. When I was at the place I was at, Sun Ridge up in Sterling, Connecticut,
Mhm.
I was talking to this young couple. It was their first visit. The one was very shy and withdrawn. She said it took her husband 4 times to convince her to come. She finally came, and then she was covering herself up and everything. We talked for about 40 minutes. Finally, she released herself. She turned around. She was very conversive. And I said to her, I says, what is she had 4 children. I said, what do your children think that you're here today? So we told them we're gambling at the casino. We didn't tell them we came here. So they hadn't got to the point where they were willing to share with their family that their expectation, because they didn't know what to expect when they got there, so they were waiting to see. And I asked her point blank if she'd be back. She said they would come back again because I took the time to speak to her and calm her nerves down. Because that's what I like doing. I'm a business coach as well.
Mhm.
And I was able to calm her down to the point where she felt more relaxed and wants to come back. So, and she was in, probably her late 30s.
All right. All
Yeah.
right. So I was in my late 20s when I got started. I'm in my late 40s now.
Okay.
So I know for a fact that yeah, young people can get involved in naturism,
Yeah.
uh, and yeah, no, and no one's going to think differently of you. And yes, you will see older people, but that's
Sure.
the beauty of it
Yeah.
too. You're
Yep.
going to
Yep.
see people of all ages
Yeah.
at this point,
And
and once again, they don't care what you look like, just
no,
that you're having a good time
no.
and
Yeah.
are comfortable and everything.
But
And
Gen Zers are the biggest fear is being judged.
right.
They don't like judgment. They don't like any of that. So when they have an older perspective, they feel like the generation is going to judge them because they may not feel in place or that they're younger, whatever the case may be. That's the dynamic that's holding them back. And
Hmm.
that's the next level of naturism is getting the younger people involved because we're not going to be around forever.
That's true. Uh, That's so true, and part of the reason I do this podcast too. But you also bring up women as well, and
Yeah.
that's another sector that is way underrepresented, I think.
Yes.
So, and I personally don't know how we address that. Probably have I would say yeah, have more women in leadership
Yep.
roles at the
Mhm.
local level and
Right.
all that. But yeah, I was having this conversation earlier in the episode, and uh, we think a lot of it has um, the same reason that single guys, myself included, would be ostracized from the community is that that's a stereotype that's we're just going to be hitting on all the
Yeah.
women
Right.
that are coming in. Like,
Yeah.
no, that's not that. That's uh, just behave like you would in a polite society.
Right. But that, if you look at the research, Michael, that I've done, some of it, I find that that's not the number one fear. The number one fear is they fear about body shaming. They fear about being um, observed and, maybe rejected. They also fear about the fact that somebody's going to take a picture. They don't
Hmm.
know where that picture is going to go, even though we know that's not allowed. But there's sometimes people, they got these glasses with cameras and stuff, and that's a big fear. And the other thing is that self-esteem is a big issue. They don't feel that good about themselves, so they figure everybody else is thinking like them, negative, and they're being judged when they're really not being judged.
Hmm.
I think that's what holds a lot of women back. I did a thing today. I was doing some research, and it's kind of funny we brought this up. I said to him, I said, what is the difference with a woman that goes to a topless beach, undresses in a locker room, or is in a sauna versus going to a nudist resort?
Hmm.
And the only difference is that women feel more compelled to wear that sheer garment or their panties because they think that's a protective zone from everything else. And they feel like they're more acceptable because they're not fully nude. And so somebody can judge them. They feel like somehow it's a psychological thing, but they're already creating objections before the objections happen. And that's how their mind is thinking is that, oh, this is going to happen, this is going to happen. And when they get there, it doesn't happen. They go like, wait a minute, I didn't expect this. And all of a sudden they start to realize that all that worry and fret and everything else didn't matter. But they got to get there to understand this. They can't do it on the sidelines. They have to be involved. And I think that's the next level is how to get them involved. And it's about self-esteem. It's about feeling good about your body, not worrying about what people think. My role in life is I tell people as a coach, I don't care what you think about me. It's what I think about me that's important because that's the only thing that drives me forward every day. You can dislike the way I look, my hair, my face. I don't care. It's how I feel about me inside. And that's what I'm going to project to you is that honest individual, not ever whatever you think.
Yeah, that sounds about right to me. Yeah. So yeah, we just need to do a better. We I think the two go hand in hand
Yeah.
actually. But yeah, well, we need to find a way to uh, get women to think differently about self-esteem and everything.
Yeah.
I'm certainly not the right person to try to do that.
Well, you can have a part in it, though. I mean, it's about education. You're in the
Yeah.
education field, so you can educate these women to what their fears are and relieve them before they actually face them. And that can bring that tension down and get more people involved because you've already set the precursor to what they can expect. Right now, they
Hmm.
don't know.
Yeah.
They just know they're going to walk into a group of strangers, and all of a sudden, am I being judged or not? You know, it's just weird that one of the videos I just did was, are you more afraid of being naked in front of strangers or being judged by strangers?
Mm.
And I'm getting in some commentary on that. And people say, well, I'm afraid of being judged. And so far, that's been a 2-to-1 answer because everybody thinks that you're just looking at them and you don't want them there. And that's not the case,
Hmm.
So I think education from your standpoint, from people like myself and others, can build that momentum a little bit greater than it is right now. And people start to relax a little bit and feel, well, maybe it's not so bad. Maybe I give it a try. Now, that's not discounting a bad experience the first time either. I mean, that could happen as well, but we can't control that.
Exactly. Exactly. Well, we can control it by making sure that um, they're as protected as possible,
Yeah.
from
Right.
having that bad experience.
Yeah.
Like I'll use my club as an example again. We have a hard and fast rule: no sexual activity.
Right.
If we get one sexual related complaint, that person's gone.
Exactly. Yeah.
And it's not exclusive to women. Men can feel
Oh,
that way
sure.
too.
Sure. Sure.
I Yeah, I managed to get someone banned from the club because they tried to approach me in an uncomfortable way.
Okay.
And
Good
it
for
was a
you.
guy.
Good for you.
Yeah,
Good for you. Yeah.
and yeah, that sort of behavior is uncalled for.
Yeah. Well, we have a nudist resort in Rhode Island close to me. It's about 50 minutes away. And before you can check in, especially if you're a single male, you must go through a background check, criminal.
Hmm.
And I forget what the other part is. They want to make sure that you're not going to be a problem when you check in,
We
which
have
I
a
think is a
similar
good
rule.
thing. Yeah. Yeah. It's a good thing, because you never know. I mean, there's all kinds of weird people out there today and they get off on stupid things and it can ruin your membership. It can make people fearful. They don't want to come anymore. It's too evolving. I can't deal with it myself.
Right,
You know?
right. Now, there's a time and place for that sort of activity, and
Yeah.
yeah, potentially in front of. It depends on if kids are involved too. If kids are involved, absolutely not.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
Absolutely not.
Yeah.
And even if there are no kids, still no, not unless you're one of those swinger groups,
Yeah.
and
Well, yeah.
that's not my thing.
No, it shouldn't be. I mean, and the club they have to protect their membership too.
Hmm.
That's part of where you're there. You're supposed to be providing a safe environment for people to express themselves,
Yep.
feel the excitement, feel friendship, build bonds, but yet feel like they're not in danger because your rules don't substantially protect them.
Hmm.
And when you start throwing people out, that gives the message that we're here to take care of you. We're not just going to let things happen. So I think that's a good point you made there, that you have those rules.
Hmm.
And I
Yeah.
think that membership should know that. Now, in your club, do you have a what I'm going to call a first time visitors packet?
Um, so first time visitors, I think we send them a introductory email. I'm not involved with the membership side of things
Okay.
at all, but I'm involved. My primary contribution is trying to work on it, the education and
Yep.
outreach
Okay.
sort of thing. But I think we do have a first timers packet of some sort. We do offer a brief tour of our the
Okay.
facility that we rent.
Okay. Everybody does that. What I'm looking at is something where you have that it shows you from the time you arrive at the facility, walks you through all the rules, regulations, all the services you provide.
Mhm.
So they don't feel like they're just being thrown in. A lot of places you go, thanks for your fee. And there you go. Have a good time.
Right.
And you don't know nothing. You don't know what to do. You don't know the etiquette. And
Hmm.
people are afraid. They stand there and they don't know, what do I do next? With this little walkthrough, it lays out everything. And a lot of clubs don't have that because they don't want to take the time to do it. I developed one for a friend, and it's really pretty intense. It's almost like somebody's holding your hand, walking you through the resort. and it talks all about the rules and things you should do, things not to do, the things to expect, things to enjoy. And what happens is you feel like you've been there for 10 years, but you just walked in the site for the first time. And I think that's going to change membership as well, because people feel more comfortable to join now because they realize that you're trying to help them understand.
All
So I
right.
would
Yeah.
encourage you to put one of those together for either that or whoever's on the marketing team to do that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Really simple.
Yeah. In fact, we have our next event happening tomorrow night. As I'm
Okay.
recording this, I will bring it up to
Yeah.
the rest of the board members who
Yeah.
show up, saying,
Yeah. Just
"Hey,
go on Chat GPT and it'll knock it out in a heartbeat. Just tell it
yeah,
what you want. You don't have to do nothing. And then to revise it until it has everything you want. You can personalize it, do everything. And I think this is something that most clubs need to understand, that you're in the education business. No matter how pretty your place looks, no
hmm
matter how many 5 stars you got, until somebody arrives and they know that they can feel secure and not judged, they're not walking in the gate.
hmm
They're not. And how many people come there and it's clothing optional and they don't move forward? They
hmm
usually say after 10, 15 minutes, if somebody comes clothing optional, they'll join in and take their clothes off. That's not always the case. I'll give you an example. When we go to this Florida thing, my wife's going to go because it's clothing optional. She's not into this.
hmm
She'll be doing her stuff down by the beach where you don't have to worry about, it's clothing optional. But for other people to come, they should know that you have these opportunities and what it means to them. They're not being pushed, they're not being rushed. You take your time, you walk around, you meet other people. Then when you feel that moment and you feel like I can blend in, then you will join them.
hmm
But they need to know the steps, because right now they don't know the steps. They don't even know how to start a conversation with somebody. That's one of the things I've got in my book is how to start a conversation with somebody, how to remember names, how to leave a group when you've been talking to them for a while. How do you exit in a good form without just walking away, right?
hmm
All these different things, even etiquette 101 for people that never been to a camp before. How do they know what to do, right?
Right.
So these are things that your group could be fulfilling to increase your membership and get more people and maybe pull some of them Gen Zs in from your
hmm
area too. I mean, that's where your future is, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And yeah. So yeah, it sounds like a couple of ideas I can bring up. Like
Perfect.
I said, and yeah, I'll go ahead and end it. Tell us about your book. Where can people find your book?
Yep.
And
It's right now it's on it's an ebook right now. It's on Amazon, uh, Barnes and Noble, and Google Play, Google Books. And Google Books has a 2-chapter preview where the other two don't. Unfortunately, Amazon then won't let me put my book up because it's got social nudity in it, which is driving me crazy because it's only from the waist up.
Mhm.
But we're trying to get it on other sites. Meanwhile, I'm going to have my website is almost finished, and I'll sell my soft cover through the website.
All right,
I've got a distributor out of California that just ordered 500 copies. They're going to distribute all through California through 4 different bookstores.
excellent, excellent.
So,
Yeah, that's weird to me that Amazon isn't allowing you to sell on their platform,
yeah,
considering they sell nudist
I
naturist
know.
books
And it's got
on
a
their
disclaimer
platform.
right in the front too. It says it's social nudity to match the chapter, and it's for adults only. So there's no discretion where it's inappropriate. But when they tried to upload it, the keywords that they wouldn't go for it. So, and I didn't want to get blacklisted, so we stopped. So
Mhm.
I'm getting a new publishing company, and they say they're going to try a different way and see if we can get it up that way, because I'd like to have people see it. I don't know. Here's the cover. You can see it.
Yeah, your camera's off, so I can't see anything.
Oh, my camera's off.
Yeah, it's been off this whole time.
Oh,
So,
okay. I don't know why it's off. It should be on.
hmm.
Hang on.
Yeah, I don't know why either. So,
Up there. Oh, there it
oh, you
goes.
had it for a sec. All right.
You see it now?
Yeah, yeah, it's yeah, it should be fine, but I don't know what's going on there.
I
You
don't
know.
either. I don't get it, but I can't argue with Amazon. So, so if I sell it on my website,
hmm
then that'll be a happy thing to do. But it'll be ready shortly, and I'll notify you when it's live, and then you can do it, pass it on or whatever. But
Oh,
I think
absolutely.
that most people that read it, that have already read it, have got a lot out of it. I'll give you another example. The lady that's in Florida that read it, that's invited me to do the book signing, I said to her, I said, after you read the book, what was the thing that touched you the most? And she says, well, I enjoyed the chapter on introverts. I said, really? She says, I was a stay-at-home nudist for a year and a half. I was afraid to go out in the community. And she says, after reading that, I realized that you were talking about me, even though I'm out there now because I work for the resort. She says, I never thought of myself as being that open until I actually tried it. But it held me back for a year and a half, that thought process that I was an introvert. I couldn't meet people. I couldn't talk to people. I was shy. What was I going to do? And she said that chapter helped her a lot. So I'm happy with that because it proved its worth to me.
Right.
Right. You're an introvert, you said?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm an introvert as well. So, yeah.
Well, there's good things and bad things. An introvert is a better listener than an extrovert. I'm an extrovert, right? And you're only good for relationships if you feel safe. Then you'll engage.
Right.
So once somebody makes you feel safe, you become pliable. You just integrate and you're happy. But until then, you're like,
Yeah, I would agree with that. Yeah. So,
So
my
it's a good
experience
thing.
too.
We've
So.
all got our strengths and weaknesses, and introverts got more strengths than I got, and vice versa. So enjoy what you have. I'm ADHD, and that's my superpower.
Yeah, I'm on the spectrum as well, since you mentioned that. So
Yeah, and it's nothing to feel bad about. It's kind of a cool thing.
And
I feel like I got something nobody else has got.
Yeah, and I think that's one of the things about this podcast is it allows me a safe venue to explore topics like what we're talking about.
Exactly. Yeah,
and so
you
on
don't
and so
feel
forth.
like you got to hold it in.
Oh, heck no.
Yeah. And I appreciate the fact you're doing this because it not only helps someone like me see more about the world, but it also gives you the chance to come out of your shell a little bit. And every day you chip away at that little by little until pretty soon you blossom. So I think it's a good thing that someone like yourself can do this and not be apprehensive or nervous about it because you realize that nothing's going to happen to you. You're just enjoying yourself, right?
Yeah.
Well,
it's all about. And
you're learning stuff.
Yeah, learning stuff and hopefully people who are listening are learning the same stuff.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Well, that's the goal, right?
Yeah.
You're not falling on deaf ears, I hope. No pun intended.
Yeah. That's a good one. That's a good one. So, all right.
Anything else you want to ask me?
That's going to be it for the interview portion. So I want to thank you for coming on.
All right. I appreciate you having me, Michael. I really do. And like I said, just keep doing what you're doing. That's all. And if you talk to your group and they want some advice, just email me and I can give you some advice as well.
All right. Great.
All right. Well, thank you again, my friend. And you have yourself a great weekend.
Yeah, you too. All right. So this will have to do it for this edition of the podcast. Thank you to Dan, Ashley, and Kip for your participation. I hope others will come on in the future because I'd love to talk more about this subject. And we'll close with some words of wisdom from non-naturist Jason Kelsey. Get naked. We're all going to get naked now. It's not weird. You're making it weird by not getting naked. Now what are you trying to hide? Just be naked. And that will wrap up this National Nude Day edition of this podcast Uncalled For, which is hosted, produced, and edited by myself, Mike Chernevsky. We have special music for this episode created at suno.com, suno.com, and also some music we found at pixabay.com, pixabay.com. Please, for those who are textile inclined, we do sell merch at cafepress.com/uncalledforpod. Please feel free to explore that and buy some. And thank you so much for listening. We will talk to you next time.